Hey folks, Brad here from Mortars from Headquarters. How you doing today? Gotta give me a little credit here. My throat's a little sore. Still got hit with that board, but I'm gonna give her a whirl. Well, as you see, it's a gloomy day outside. It's kind of cloudy. It's been raining all morning, so you know what happens with rain? Brings May flowers. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go make some flowers. I had orders from the general saying we got a CG and she wants some flowers for the outside. So let's go. Hey folks, so one of the things we're going to need is basically a 1x2. I've cut this out of a stock that was cracked. I figured out what the heck. I already had a 1/4 inch round on it. This was for another project. So I cut a chunk of it off and I decided that I got to make the planter box part. This is a bigger version of it. You can make it out of the full 1x4. You just cut a 10-degree angle on it with the base that'll fit the bottom. Whatever comes off, when you do a 10-degree cut on your miter, you start from the top, cut down to the bottom on your first cut on your saw, and then go about 2.5, maybe 3 inches, get your base. And then whatever the base is, you give it a 1/4 inch on either side that comes out with the flower pot. I did a smaller version of it because I was doing smaller flowers. That's where this one come in. That's the smaller version of the flowers. You got a small base, that's where the 2x2 comes in. As you notice right here, that's a 1/2 inch cut. It's only 1/8 of an inch deep that I made on my miter saw. I did that first before I did any other cut. I made that square cut, right, just like that, on both sides. And then when I cut it, I ended up taking my hand saw and I cut the ones on the side. You don't have to do that because you don't really see it, but it makes it look better if you do. I also like taking a router. I haven't done it. You can either use an 1/8 inch router or you can just sand it. You can sand these to where these edges aren't rough. I haven't got to that point yet. I was kind of saving it for part of this project. Anyway, so I always end up saving all circles because I absolutely hate cutting circles. I get them wherever I get circles. If I find them from cut off posts, I use those sometimes. This is a cedar post. I got regular plywood posts or plywood circles that were cut out from projects I've done. I save them all because you're going to use them. You're going to use them for snowmen in the winter. You're going to use them for, I'm using them for this right now. I'm using them for softballs, baseballs. I use them for all different kinds of things. They're useful. So anytime you get a circle, I just save them and put them somewhere so I can use them. And this happened to be the perfect project. Some of the other things that I used in this project, you're going to look at me like, you're crazy. Why are you using those? Well, these are actually marshmallow sticks that I got for 99 cents. These are a smaller version. Normally, when I go buy marshmallow sticks, they were a 1/4 inch. I was like, oh, great, I'll go buy some more. Well, when I got home, I didn't pay any attention. I had some that were smaller. I was like, oh no, I don't know if I got a drill bit for that. Lucky I did. I had one. I just whenever you drill them, you got to make sure you use the same size drill bit as your dowel rods. I refurbished a bunch of my paint sticks. Whenever you use a foam brush, I always save the wooden dowel rods. They are so useful. You can use them for anything. What you do, these are sometimes, I use these for the flowers on the little bitty parts of the flowers. You go to a grinder or a sander and you sand it to where it gets a little round around the edge. And then you cut it, slip them all with a little glue, with a little CA glue or glue. And that's that. On the circles, I'm gonna show you how you do those. I start out, I make a bullseye right on my circle. Then I'm gonna cut it in half. One going this way, one going that way. And then I figured, I'm gonna get decorative. I'm gonna cut little triangles on each side of it. Zip, 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 zip. And then you cut another triangle for the half. The little half marks. There's gonna be triangles. Let me show you how that works. So we'll go over to my trusty little saw here. Hopefully she's cutting good. I've been having issues with it. I got a bearing getting ready to go, so I gotta kind of be careful. So you end up with something similar to that. So what I did from there, I went and I grabbed my drill because I already had it set up for the holes that I had drilled for those little pockets. I'm gonna find one of the bigger ones that would be a good base for the bottom. I usually take and I go to the middle of my board and I drill in. Now you're gonna ask me, why am I drilling that first? Well, I'm gonna take one of these little sticks that we had, these little bitty ones that fit in here, and I'm gonna use that before I'm gonna use a piece of this. So I'm just gonna use a scrap piece and stand by my cut one. You can see I got the little hole drilled. I'm gonna put the little dowel rod in. It's gonna sit like that. I'm not gonna put any glue on it just quite yet. So I will come over to my paint station. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it with some of this ultra cover gloss paint. It's primer and paint. It's like pretty good stuff from Lowe's. I'm just gonna paint it. Give her a yellow, give her a good coat. I don't care, she's on a stick and I'm gonna let her sit and dry. Thanks to the miracles of internet, I'm gonna let this one sit and grab the one I've already done. I put it up in a little stand because I drill a hole on the opposite piece. I let them sit there and dry. For modern convenience, I didn't paint the first one for my demo model. Yellow, I painted it pink because I was going to go, oh, I need some pink ones. And I don't know what color I'm going to use, whether I want to use blue, pink, red. I don't know. We'll go with whatever you do, you got to have two of them. So I'm going to go with the blue for right now. I think that'll look pretty good. So I come back over here and I'm like, I got to do two things. First off, I need to make my flower pot, which we didn't do yet. Like I said, you end up making a 10-degree cut on each side. You line it up on the edge from the top to the bottom. And I gave these 1.5 inches because I wanted to make a 3-piece one like that. I've been trying to do different sizes because I don't want them all being the same size. When I'm doing these for fun, I give a few away. Little kids, they want to give them to their mom. I feel generous every now and then. I can't help it. I give a lot of my stuff away. I don't usually keep it. But I do have fun doing it. So once you get your base, you're gonna CA glue that halfway in the middle. So let's go with that. Normally, I would take my stamp and stamp the bottom of them before I do this. I didn't do it to the big ones. This was the first one I learned on. I should have stamped it first. I can do it now, but I'm not gonna. I'll do them later. But I'm gonna take and I'm gonna grab my CA glue. Add a couple dabs will do ya. Just about like such. And I'm gonna grab the activator. I'm gonna squirt it. Give it a squirt. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna line that up in the center. Now, normally I route these. I'm not today. I'm just gonna sand these off later. I'm gonna give it 1/8 inch round because I kind of like the rounded base. I'd take more time, get them more centered. But this is just for demo model because I already had the one made, but I wanted to show you on film how to do it. I'm kind of in a hurry because I got limited video and I got limited daylight because I'm fighting weather. I'm going to drill a hole in the top, that same size that I used for the other. Like I said, it all depends on what your dowel rods are. Now I like putting the ones that go on the side at an angle. Be like such. So, once you get that in there, we're going to glue the blue onto the pink. Add the glue to the either or. You can either do it on the blue piece or on the pink piece. Doesn't really matter. Either way, you got to activate it. We're going to go with it being on the pink. Put it down. Try to line up to the lines that I cut. Little rub, let it sit there for a minute. Should stick. Good. Turn it over. Same thing. We'll do it reverse this time. We'll put the glue on here. Give her another little squirt. Like I said, I really like this project. It's kind of fun. And to be honest with you, I've had orders for these and I ain't even tried selling them yet. I showed it to a couple guys at work, and they're going to use them to put on their mother for the Mother's Day. Now, with the big one, the big hole, I like using it in the center. So it's your centerpiece. And you can do these either way you want. You can either put the glue on the in here or on the post. I'd rather do it this way, because I found out that when I do it just on here, put the glue on here, it ending up on the flower pot base, and it doesn't look as attractive. So if you're selling them, you got to take a little heed. You can kind of give them a little twist. You can leave them sit. You can make them square. However you want to do it. Now, to make one of the little ones, you do the same thing, except for use smaller little circles. You still draw out the line across the middle. Like I said, I already have some of these made somewhere. I don't have them made. I have centers made. But this is where the little ones that come in. That's the little paintbrushes I told you about. I use those paintbrush tips. Can't really see it, but those are the red ones. So I'm going to end up drawing that X on there like I did the other one. However, I'm just going to cut out the little, I'm just going to put a line in there where them triangles were. Because this is not all that fun. One. Just like before on the big ones, we're going to add the dowel rod to the little hole coming over to the paint. We're going to give her some yeller. We're going to let it sit and dry. Then we're going to have to cut some of these the little ones that I told you about. These are not much fun because I end up losing these a lot because they go flying out of my bandsaw. But I'll give her a whirl. Okay, I've been putting the CA glue on. Now I got to put the activator. I'm going to squirt the base. Or the flour. Come on, sit. It's not where I wanted it. Sit, sit, sit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I saw a snake come alive. There we go. Now all we gotta do is put a little more glue in on the stem or in the hole, either or. Like I said, I prefer it inside that little pocket. It makes it easier. Then squirt this piece here. Now, if you get like me and you're sloppy with the paint, you can always take a piece of sandpaper and cut it, or take it off. I should have made this one a little shorter, which I still might. I just have to re-drill it out. But anyway, so that's how you make them. And like I said, go out and make some sawdust, have some fun, make some stuff, have fun. I'm telling you, these things sell. They sell like crazy. I made big ones. I got bigger ones out in my outside. I didn't bring them in, but I made a bunch of they're this size, and I'll show you the difference. They're that big instead of that big. They're like that size that I made. Same basic principle, just bigger. And you just make the bigger bases. But when you make the bigger bases, you also need the bigger marshmallow sticks that I had, or dowel rods. I think it's a 3/8 dowel rod. Not really sure what the size is, but I have them right here. Oh, those are the thin ones. I still got them. They're like a 1/4 inch, but I think they're over there somewhere. Anyway, I have them. But if you're gonna make the big ones, use the bigger flower pot. 3 inches by, I think it's 3 by 3 on the bases, and the 3-inch on the top, and then you just taper that down 10 degrees from here. I did it from this line here when I was on my miter saw. I used it to take that line when I ran across my table saw. And I'm sorry I didn't show you guys that. I would do that, but you guys always see me cut, and I just had a bunch of them made. I just didn't want to make a bunch. So anyway, I am running out of power. You guys have a great day. Get out there, make some sawdust. Hit that like and subscribe button. I need all the help I can get. My next video is number 50, and it's going to be a tribute to my mom. So please get everybody on here. I want to celebrate. You know, my mom went away. I want to make her happy. And it's the only way I know how to do it, because it was her last wish for me to stay on this stuff and make stuff. So I am going to do her one better. I am going to make something for her. So, adios. Have a good day, folks.